Welcome back, folks, to the Lighthead Online Video Show. This episode of the show and every episode of the show in 2020 is sponsored by our friends at Keystone Technologies. Go to KEYSTONETECH.com, baby. That's KeystoneTech.com. More email, Greg.
More email. Sometimes we get these back, and I guess we had a hot one today. It's always fun to see that because when Lighthead releases one of our recordings, we get some action, and we got some action back. A lot of good comments, actually. A lot of people that were totally agree with what we said and what was said on the show. And again, for the record, what we read is not what we wrote. We talked about it, but we just read an email that we got.
Well, we're talking about the relationship between lighting reps and lighting distributors. And I'm going to make that case: lighting reps and lighting distributors.
Right.
So that's what we're referring to here on the Lighthead Online Video Show. And we had a very popular show that's gone, I don't know, viral's the right word, but certainly we've heard a lot of comments on it. And we received an email, just like the last time we got an email about reps. Now we got an email from a rep. And have yet to see it yet. Yeah. So Greg is going to go through each point. I hope I have a good laugh out of it. Let's go.
All right. So I don't know who the rep is, but it does come from a friend of ours that forwarded this on. So here's what we got. Ready? Number one, and it's in its order. There's 9 of them, so be ready. Number 1, that Michael guy is so annoying.
Thank you.
Okay. So that's your thank you there. Number 2, I don't agree with the statement that reps have eroded the relationships between manufacturer and distributor. It is our job to make that as smooth as possible. But yes, I hate it when distributors call our factories.
Ooh. Listen, if we say that you're eroding the relationship, we're right and you're wrong.
Yeah, and if we're not getting an answer from the manufacturer rep and we can get the answer from the factory, guess who we're going to call? Sorry, manufacturing rep, I bypass you all day long because I'm selling to the end user. I'm representing myself to them. And if you're not getting me what I need, I'm going to find a way to get it.
Not only that, though, but like sometimes every time you call a rep, you have to wait for them to call the factory anyway.
Yeah. Do I need to email you to ask for a price and then wait for you and then wait for that? No. Give it to me. Move on. I got more to do.
Yeah. And you hate it when we do that. Well, then get out of the way.
Or make it easy. You choose. Number 3. We have no skin in the game because we don't carry stock is not true. We care about all aspects of your stock. What you bring in, what you carry, whether it's my brand or not. I want to make sure you have what you need and we'll always try to cross it, but at the same time respecting that other brands are there.
Yeah, you want to control my warehouse, do you? It's funny because I have a nailed member friend of ours, and I'm not going to say who it is, but he came to me. He came to me and he said, I'm sitting on 1.5 million in stock. And that may not sound like a lot to a big electrical distributor, a big electrical house or whatever, but to an independent lighting distributor, that's a lot of stock. It's a lot of light bulbs,
For
man.
sure.
And, there's nothing that annoys me more than someone that comes in and says, first of all, comes in the office, then somehow gets in my warehouse and starts telling me about what I should stock and shouldn't stock. Because you have my interests at heart, do you?
Right, because everybody's going to want to buy what you tell us to stock. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah. You're going to come in and tell me how to run my business, what I should keep in stock and what I shouldn't keep in stock. We're trying. You should be supporting the ones on my card. Get out of here, buddy. That's just this is just dumb.
Number 4, we don't assist with what you stock. Not true at all. A good rep should help you move the stock you have because it equals more order for you and me. Win-win.
Don't go anywhere near my customers. There's nothing worse than a rep that wants to do joint calls.
Unless they bring something valuable to the table, which is how often?
No, how about you bring me to a call? Why are you always trying to get? Why don't you try to get? Why are you always trying to get your hooks into me?
Right.
It's like, oh yeah, I can go on joint calls with you. It's like, no, I can go on joint calls with you because I know way more about lighting than you do.
Right.
Like,
And there are reps that have done that for me where they've brought me leads, and that's a good rep right there. And that's someone that I'll in turn bring back with me. If that
has
makes sense.
never happened once to me. I've had lots of leads from all kinds of great nailed vendors. Great nailed vendors have emailed me and said, hey, you know what? This guy's contacted us. We referred him to you. He's in your area or whatever. Can you help us out? Go by going to see him and whatever. Yeah, sure. But never once from a rep. Always wanted to get their hooks into my customers.
Sure. Number 5, we don't train our employees in lighting. This is an interesting statement and to some degree is true, whereas some are trained simply as data entry, others are very knowledgeable. I think that this is true for both reps and distributors and is always going to be an issue unless training is a focus. And I think we hinted at that when we talked about it. We said, some people are trained, some aren't. It's no different as a distributor, as a manufacturer rep. But typically, what we pointed out is that manufacturing reps seldomly know as much as a lighting distributor. Seldom. Doesn't mean always.
Yeah. So if I have a newbie on my desk, he can always come to me. He doesn't need to go to you. And on top of that, hey, here's another angle. I've had rep agencies hire my employees. There's another one.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, there you go. And then on top of that, the idea that, hey, I don't think he's talking about us nail distributors. I think he's talking about his friends in electrical distribution that may not have lighting people. So like we said, yeah, all day at the electrical distributors, bud. But nailed lighting distributors, this is where you're touching a wound.
There you go. Number 6, we only sell what's on our line card, so it's rarely the right fixture or in budget. This is dumb. If you have a good line card, you have products for all budgets and styles. This person reps 123 lines, FYI. That's a lot of lines. Hey, if you do have everything and it's legit and it's the right thing and it's going to work for the application, the price is good, quality's there, then I can agree with it.
This guy's repping 123 different lighting manufacturers.
It says lines. It didn't say specified lighting, but lines.
Yeah. How deep can you know any one of those companies then?
Right. When you have 123, yeah.
Right. Do you know? Are you on a first name basis with how many of those 123 people?
The ones at the top 5 on my line card.
Yeah.
I know those 5.
I bet you 4 of those people on his line card are like 98% of his business.
Right. Okay. Number 7, our thirst for packages ruins the industry as we wine and dine specifiers like prostitutes. Okay.
We never said that. You and I never said that.
We didn't. That was in quotation. He said, this is clearly written by someone who got burned on a spec or can't write one. Truth is, we are in our architects and engineers' offices regularly, and it's our job to get the spec written.
Okay.
Do it.
Yeah. I mean, that's your job. Sure. I agree with that. Where I would take issue is when, where I think the fundamental problem lies there is oftentimes when they're writing those specs, there is, by the code that the product is written, that it's for that job, right? So they'll come up with, you'll get a product, someone will come across and say, hey, can you quote this for me? And then you'll call up your manufacturer and they'll say, oh yeah, no, you can't quote that.
Right.
Well, how did you know that? Oh, that's a special SKU. That's only for that job. Oh, yeah. I see. So you're price fixing now. Seriously, that's what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. For sure.
Oh, I see. So you're charging that customer more than they should pay for that product. Yeah. Right? Because it's a special SKU.
Why is value engineering so popular?
It's so popular, dude. So popular.
For that exact reason.
That reason right there.
Number 8, we expect overage rather than earning it. You earn overage by knowing each job and where you can make money. Some jobs, there's nothing more than 5%. Others you can earn more as the project dictates.
Sounds like a tax. So the rep tax is 5%. Is that what it is? Sometimes the rep tax is 15%, and sometimes the rep tax is 40%.
Yeah, do you know half the lines? I don't even know who the rep is of the line. I go, like I said before, I go direct to the manufacturer. Is that rep doing anything? No. Should they get anything out of the sales I do on behalf, that should be run through them? I don't really feel that way, but that's not how it's set up.
The way he wrote it is like, the poor reps, sometimes we only get 5% tax on the transaction. And sometimes we get to tax even more.
The rep tax. We might get another response to this. So this might be a 3 or 4 part series. Number 9, we are deemed non-essential. That is totally nonsensical comment. We are essential to the essential business. So without us, there is no you guys. We are all in this as a team. If you can't buy product, you don't have product to sell.
Yeah. That's like saying mostly peaceful protesters.
True. Yeah.
Like, what is a mostly peaceful protest? It's a riot. That's what it is. It's mostly, they're mostly peaceful. Mostly. Oh, man. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
So those are the 9 points there. Something more might come of it, but it's not necessarily to start a battle here. It's just to kind of relay comments that we hear in the field and are talked about. So put them out there. Email us. We'll keep it going.
Look, man, my job is to be as annoying as possible. Look, I don't care about reps. Like, I mean, this is a big thing in lighting, like reps. Like, I really don't personally. I don't care that much. They're not allowed in my office. I don't ever call them. If a manufacturer says you have to call the rep, that's a manufacturer I'm not doing business with. Other than that, I don't really care about them. Go do your business. Like, I don't believe that there's some laws that should rule over the lighting business and that distributors should be in charge and that we should have some war with reps. Look, go do your job. But when it comes to lighting distributors, man, you guys are at a deficit of knowledge, especially nail distributors. You guys are at a deficit of knowledge, and there's no value add. And even in your email, the way you described it, whoever wrote that email, even in your email, the way you described it, it's like a tax, telling me what I should stock and helping me. You're not going anywhere near my warehouse. This has been the Lighthead Online Video Show. This show is sponsored by Keystone Technologies. Go to KEYSTONETECH.com. That's Keystone Annoying. Be annoying. Keystone Technologies. Keystone.com. Thank you for listening.